Stu Cowan and Pat Hickey with the Montreal Gazette here in the Bell Centre following the Canadiens' 4-2 loss to the Buffalo Sabres on Wednesday night. Pat, the Canadiens just keep looking worse. Is this team as bad as they've looked this last 10-game span?
Yeah, I don't know if they've looked any worse than they have lately. I mean, just the losses keep mounting up. And one of the things we saw in the beginning of the season, we saw those great third-period surges. If they were tied going into the third period, even down a goal, you felt pretty confident that they could come back and do something because they had that speed. They had wore teams down with 4 lines going out. They're still trying to do that. They had 4th line out there with 4 minutes to go tonight. But it's just not working anymore. We've seen collapses in the last 3 or 4 games in the third period. Tonight, they're up 2-1 going into the third. They give up a goal 7 minutes in, and they sort of got deflated after that.
Yeah, well, you say, I don't think fans had confidence. I think they had more confidence earlier, too. This is a team that seems to have lost all confidence. They can't score more than 2 goals in a game. Yeah. And, Mike Condon is not the reason they're losing these games, but Michel Therrien seems to be sticking with the same sort of line combination with Desharnais and Pacioretty, which doesn't seem to work. I asked him after the game if there was any possibility of putting the egg line back together, and he's not now. So if not now, like when? Like what can he do?
Yeah, I don't. The thing that it's interesting talking to the players afterwards. They still feel they can make the playoffs. I don't see how. The thing is, if they were winning some games, if they were putting on a rush like Ottawa did last year, then you'd say, oh, maybe you have a shot. They're only 5 points out of Pittsburgh. Behind Pittsburgh at the last spot. Pittsburgh has 3 games in hand. They're tied with Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got 4 games in hand. They just have so many guys. Every team that they're trying to catch has games in hand.
And this was the stretch they were supposed to catch teams. This is the stretch where they had the Toronto Maple Leafs, they had the Columbus Blue Jackets, the worst team in the league back-to-back. They lost 5-2 back-to-back to them.
Well, actually, the worst team in the league right now is the Canadiens.
That's right, yeah, the worst team in the standing. Yeah. Then you have Buffalo, which you figure they're going to beat. Now Saturday you have the Oilers coming in. They're in a roll with Connor McDavid back, and the Carolina Hurricanes are on a roll. So the Canadiens are the team that I think other teams are looking forward to play now.
That's right. Well, I think several players have mentioned that, that the Canadiens have a bit of a target on their back. Anytime teams come in, particularly when they come into the Bell Centre, the mecca of hockey, they like to come in here. They like to play. They like the atmosphere in the crowd, and it's especially good when the crowd doesn't have any reason to get behind the Canadiens. We saw it in the first period. They had a power play. They did nothing with it, and people started getting on them.
A lot of empty seats again. There was talk before the game. Scalpers were selling Reds 2 for 1, which is it's hard to believe. Yeah. After the game, the happiest guy might have been Brian Giant, the former Habs captain, scored the 4th goal into an empty net. After the game, Carey Price and his wife were walking over to the Sabres locker room to meet with him, and Carey's still walking with a very noticeable limp on his right leg. I'm wondering if it's time to just shut him down for the season and get him 100% for next year.
Yeah, we saw RDS taped his workout this morning. It looks like, if anything, he's slowed down. He's not skating as fluidly as he was a week ago. I suspect that it doesn't look like he's going to be back for a couple of weeks. I mean, he hasn't taken a shot. He hasn't gone down yet. I have a feeling that they will shut him down once it becomes. It should be obvious now they're not going to make the playoffs.
So one of the websites, 11% their chances are listed of making it. And when you can't score 3 goals a game, you're not going to win, and you're not going to make the playoffs, and you don't deserve to make the playoffs.
21 of the last 26 games, 2 goals or less.
Yeah, really.
You're not going to win with those. You might have a chance if Carey Price is at his best, and you might win a game 2-1 or 2-0. But this is not a knock against Condon. But it's just, it's not the same.
No, I mean, Carey Price would steal the odd game, but how many games are you going to steal when a team's only scoring 2 goals? Things aren't going to get easier. As we said, they have Saturday and Sunday matinees here at the Bell Centre against Edmonton and Carolina. 2 more losses there, and I think the playoff hopes are done for this team.
Yeah, Edmonton's got the worst record in the NHL, but as you say, Connor McDavid's back. We saw a spectacular goal from him last night. He's going to be worth the price of admission. That game is sold out. There's still some tickets available for the Sunday game against Carolina, though.
Yeah. Well, Pat, you and I will be back here on Saturday, and we'll see how the Habs do then.